Man United to Sunderland nil. Sounds good, doesn't it? It's been a while since we had such a comfortable performance. We have always had these games where you never know what to expect. We are always just having a lot of tension. That was a very good game. We had so many chances. Uh, Most of the players stand up, really putting in a very good effort. They were really determined to get that win. So it's one of those games where we really needed to get a win. One of the things that you noted from the beginning of the game is the lineup. Ruben Amorim decided on the right lineup. We always said in the last video, we said we want to see Lammens play, and Lammens has proved that he needs to be the keeper who will be the keeper going forward. India makes far too many mistakes. Lammens will also make his mistakes, like today there were instances where he rushed out too early, he was too eager, but you could tell he had a very good performance in terms of the claiming the crosses, in terms of shot stopping. Also, in terms of distribution, he distributed the ball well. The defense looked confident in him. So he's one of the players that has the highest rating in this game. I gave him an 8.5 over 10. It was a good debut. If you have such a debut where you keep a clean sheet, the team has a comfortable win, everybody seems to be comfortable when you're coming for the crosses. So he claimed so many crosses that have been a problem. He didn't punch most of the balls. He was just catching the balls. In fact, it's a rare scene to see a goalkeeper who's catching the ball. Most goalkeepers these days tend to punch the ball, but he was catching the ball, making sure there is no danger for the team. So in my ratings, Lammens get the highest rating in 8.5 over 10. I think it was very good for a debut, and it shows that he can go into the international break, reflect on the game he just had, reflect on the future games, and even though the game against Liverpool at Anfield will be a big game, I think he's had already his debut. So any jitters that he had, any shake, doubts about if he can play for Man United, they are gone. He now has a game under Man United under his belt for Man United, and it has been a good game. Yoro also had a good game. You can see he had an 8 over 10. That is a good score because I wonder why he has not been starting, because Maguire was not good enough in the last game, and even in the games that Maguire has started has not been good enough. So you can look at the game against Chelsea, but that game went that way because it was on a red card. So I think Hero from now on should be starting all our games. I don't like this defensive shuffling every time. So because the defense needs to learn each other's games, they need to build relationships, they need to be better together. So I think Euro should be going onwards. We should be starting Euro. Delete also had a very solid performance. He had an 8 over 10 in terms of the performance. Everything that was supposed to do, he did, and the defense had a good clean sheet. Shaw is still a cause of concern. I gave him a 6 over 10. It's an average performance. Nothing he did was out of the blue, or nothing he did was a great performance. He lost his man 2 or 3 times. It could have been dangerous. There's still some doubts about him in the left center back role. So I give him a 6 over 10. Ahmad had a very had a great game in terms of the way he pulled the defense wide, and the link up between him and Belmo was so good today. You could tell he had a very good shot that was palmed by the goalkeeper. He had a chance that he created that Casemiro should have done better with. He sent it to upwards instead of, if he just had a good hit, that could have been a goal. So Ahmad had a very good game today. It shows what we missed in the last game. Dalot had a poor game. In terms of this game, you look at Dalot, I give him a 5 over 10 because he had a poor game in my opinion. In terms of the crosses, he never put in a good cross. Most of the balls that he was being given good balls in very good promising positions, he takes and two touches extra, or he probably get the ball gets caught under his legs. So there's still a concern with the law. That is one of the positions that has a very big problem, either when he plays as the left wing back or the right wing back. Casemiro had a decent game, one of the good games. You can see why we start Casemiro. He might not have the legs, but he distributes the ball well. He keeps the ball ticking. He very good positionally. He defends well. So Casemiro really had a good game. You look at the Fernandez. Fernandez also is a 7/10. That was a good performance from Fernandez. Not exactly one of the performances you'd expect to be better than him. You'd expect he would have a better position, but at least he was not caught out today. He played the midfield well. You want the midfielders to just have a game that it's not frantic. So the game was not frantic, so I'd give him a 7/10. Mbeumo had a good game. He created one of the assists. The assist to Mount was came from Mbeumo, so he had a good game, but he tired towards the end. So 7.5/10 is a good score. Mount also he scored the first goal, which helped us settle into the game. Man United, once they score the first goal, they play very well, and that goal was so crucial. He was very good in midfield. He was also defending very well. He was hurrying the Sunderland players all the time. So you want a player like Mount to be able to have such a good game, because that's why he's preferred by very many managers, because he never stops running. And if you have a player, such a player who never stops running, he tires the opposition players. He also always keeps them on their toes, and is one of the reasons why this was a good performance. Because in the first half we had a very good performance in terms of the number of passes, in terms of the possession. So I think Mount was a big contributor to that. So that was an 8/10 of a performance. Sesko is turning out to be a very good striker. We are glad that we didn't sign Gyökeres, because Sesko can deal with the physicality of the league. The way he links up play, the way he heads the ball, winning his duels, the way he takes his goals, the positioning. He's always positioned where you expect the striker to be positioned, and balls falls to him, and he's placing the balls very well. He has 2 goals, so back-to-back games where he scored, so that will do well for his confidence. He goes into the international break, has a good international break, comes back and continues from where he left off. So I'd give him an 8.5/10. I think for me, in terms of the way he brought the other players into the game, I would give him an 8.5/10. I think, in my opinion, he's also the man of the match. I couldn't really decide between Lammens and Sesko. Perhaps in Lammens, I'm excited just to have a goalkeeper, because we have not had a goalkeeper who can do his job, just do his job without creating panic. And we have in Lammens, he was able to do his job very well without creating panic, except for probably one of one of the situations where Traore went for the ball, and he could have probably been adjudged to have fouled him, but VR correctly judged the issue as a dive. Traore took a dive. The Lamens didn't touch him. Probably Bruno might have touched him a little, but it wasn't enough to send him down as it went. Dogu, when he came on, I could have done better. He had a 6/10, but he keeps falling around every time. He keeps looking for fouls, and it puts us in danger. He needs to be stronger. He needs to stay in the game. Some of those fouls, you are not going to be given such cheap fouls in the Premier League, and every time he's not given a foul and they counter on us, he puts us on danger. So that is one of the reasons why he didn't start this game, and he needs to know that some of those fouls are not going to be given in the Premier League. I think he's used to such fouls being given in the Serie A, but in the Premier League, such sort of fouls are not going to be given. So he needs to be stronger. Cunha came on, and he had a one good chance, but he really didn't affect the game, so I'll give him a 6/10. Mine also didn't have that much of the time to infect the game, so a 6/10 is our average. So you can see that today most of the ratings are positive, so that's something that we can take out of the game. This game was mainly won in the first half. You look at the first half, the chances, the total passes, we had 227 to the 197. We had a 52% possession rate. In terms of the tackles, we made almost enough, 8 to 9 tackles. The duels, we had around 48 duels. So it's a very competitive game in terms of the first half, and that's when the game was won. Because if you look at the first half, we had 9 total shots, 5 of them were on target. So those shots that we had on in the first half, we could have scored more goals if only we took the chances well. So this game was very good in the first half, and that's why you want to start games very well. If you start games very well and we go ahead, then this team can be very hard to break, because then the 5 at the back, the 3 at the back, and the right wing back and the left wing back contributing to make the defensive solid, it makes it very hard to score against. So I think even in the next game, if we can have very good start and probably score the first goal, then there's a chance we can get something out of this game. So this game was won in the second half. If you look at the other part of the game. In total, we had 15 shots. 7 of them were on target. So compared to Sunderland, who had very few shots, this game was in our favor in every aspect of the game, in terms of the duels, in terms of the pressures that we made against Sunderland. So most of the things that we did in this game were right, and that's what you need from a Man United team. We need a Man United team that is ready to fight. First, win the fight, and then you have the right to win the game. Because if you look at the game against Brentford, what made us lose that game against Brentford is that we weren't in the fight. So if we were in the fight, then we will win the game. Make sure you first win your duels. The first balls, the second balls. The defense were winning all their first balls and the second balls. That way, the other team seemed mediocre. You couldn't tell that Sunderland are on 11 points and they have started such a good start. In fact, if we had taken our chances, we would have blown them away. So some of these things that the coach keeps talking about, that's one of the cases. He said the system is not the problem. If it was the system was the problem, then you would see it in every game. But our problem is we play one game very well, then the next game we play poorly. So it's not a case of the system, it's a case of the players' mentality. And the players' mentalities have been put to question because they need to be doing better. In fact, most of the players are behind all the players that have been interviewed, you can tell even the way they played that game, they're behind the manager. And one of the things that really angers Man United fans is that as players you need to put in the same level of performance from game to game for the whole season. So the fact that you can have a very good performance in one game followed by a very poor performance in the next, that's a cause of worry. And it shows that some of the players are not serious, some of the players are not giving their all in the team, some of the players probably don't have the quality, so they can have quality in one game and then the next game they are poor. You look at players like Dalot, they can have two back-to-back games where their performance is not good enough. So those are going to be problems that will be solved over time. But what happens is that when you win, it gives you a good feel good factor. It prepares you well for the next game. So in terms of the post-match comments, Ruben Amorim was asked about the game. He said, my frustration is not seeing the same team at home and away. We didn't play well in the second half, but there were focus, fighting spirit. These are things that help us win matches. This is a very good comment that Man United fans can get behind, because the focus and the fact that we can have one good game and then the next game is poor, it's a cause of worry. He also was asked about Mason Mount, and he said, I think Mason Mount is more of a midfielder than a winger or a striker. He can defend really well and he played well today. That is also what we have been talking about. Mount is preferred because of his defensive play and also the fact that he contributes with the goals and even creation of chances. So he makes him be preferred over Cunha today, and it was the right decision. So he said, I saw the players today. They want to do their best. They do not want to change their coach all the time. I think this was a dig at the press, who always want to say that the players want the coach to change, but their performance, especially that performance against Sunderland, shows that they are really in it to win it. And it's not a case of not wanting the coach, it's a case of having the right mentality. If they have the right mentality, they can always win these games. Mason Mount was also interviewed and was asked about the gaffer, and he said, we are 100% behind the gaffer. This shows that the players really want it to work. Ruben Amorim is a good manager, and I think players like Mount, who are getting a chance to play, and if they put in the efforts, you will get the game time. If Lammens puts in the effort in training, he also got game time. So he is just trying to find the right team that will be able to play good games. And you can say, if you have that fairness, the players don't really have anything to do with the manager, or some of these reports where they say that they are not fighting for the manager. You could tell they were fighting for the manager today. He was also asked about his goal, and he said, my goal, I'm very happy. Most important thing is the 3 points after tough results. I'm also happy for Sesko and for Senne Lammens too. So this is a player who takes this moment to also praise his teammates, to also say he likes the impact of Sesko in the game, because Sesko has scored 2 games in a row. He is also happy that other players are coming into their own into this team. They are getting better and better and better. You look at Lammens, everyone was happy for Lammens, especially me and all the fans. I know they were happy to see Lammens have a good performance and be able to win the accolades from the fans, because we just need a keeper who can do their job without causing chaos. Because Onana caused a lot of chaos, Baindi caused a lot of chaos, and today, for the first game in a long while, you could tell that everyone was comfortable. From the beginning to the end, I never felt shaky because of the goalkeeper. So that is one thing that you need. That is a sign of leadership. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the goals. You are happy about the goals because it's an individual achievement, but all you really are happy about is because of the team performance. When the team performs well, then the media will be off their backs and they can be able to relax and keep on putting in the performances. So those 10 points takes us to ninth on the table after Chelsea beat Liverpool. So it's a good thing to see that Man United are still within a good position for the European position. You look at 10 points, the leader as Arsenal are 16. So we are 6 points off the top. So it almost seems like there's been an overreaction. Ruben Amorim needs time. It's not time to call for the sacking. He needs to continue picking the right lineups and will get more points over time. So you might say it's an overreaction over Sunderland, but you can only beat what is in front of you. And Sunderland, up to now, have had very good games and they have played very good teams, and they have also got good points along the way. So a win is a good win. It was a comfortable win. It was one of those wins where you want your team to make sure the team doesn't have any trouble from the beginning to the end. You just score your goals, then you control the game, and we controlled it well in the second half. It wasn't as good a second half as the first half, but at least by then we were 2 goals up and we could be comfortable all through. So let's see what this week brings, and we can have a very good international break. The 2 weeks we can enjoy ourselves, and when we come back we can focus on the games that come. Until then, see you in the next one.